Georgia's governor has vetoed a religious freedom law, or in other words, an anti-LGBT law, because of the fact that a number of big Hollywood studios have decided to no longer do business in the state if they decide to discriminate against gay people. Now, it's known as HB 757, and according to the governor of Georgia, it does not reflect the character of our state and the character of our people. Now, I'm sure Nathan Deal cares a lot about the character of the people in Georgia, but what this really has to do about is Disney threatening to pull their business out of the state, AMC Networks threatening to do the same, and also the NFL saying that they would refuse to host a Super Bowl in the state. Once the state stands to lose a lot of money because of their discriminatory practices, well, all of a sudden the governor steps in and decides to veto the bill.
There's nothing more exciting in politics for me than having someone be forced to choose between two things that ideologically they say they're in support of.
Yeah.
And like we know that there's been this weird, bizarre, we just accept it, this marriage of big business and super right-wing Christianity, that a party should have both of these. Just seems natural because we're used to it, but it doesn't actually make sense. And historically, it hasn't been the case for very long in America. To force them to choose between their earthly concerns and their eternal spiritual concerns, and like, oh, well, we don't like gays, but like, I gotta get paid.
That's exactly
I kinda
right.
like that.
I mean, what's interesting is, you know, when it comes to the gay community, one of the most successful strategies has been how bad it is for business, or how bad it is for a state in terms of losing business if they decide to be discriminatory toward the LGBT community, right? Like, it's worked with amusement parks that have hosted things like, I don't know what it's called exactly, but I know that Disneyland and Disney World have a special period of time where they celebrate the gay community. And there used to be right-wingers that were very much against that, but in the end it didn't matter because Disney knew that it was good for business to be friendly to the gay community. And I hate that it has to come down to money, but if it leads to more equality, then I'm all for it.
Yeah. Well, and it makes you wonder, like, theoretically, if we could just get enough different movie studios to set up small franchises so they'd have a bit of sway, or get them to maybe communicate and coordinate a little bit in opposing other sorts of laws, they might have a lot of clout. The dangerous thing, of course, is then I begin to think, well, what if right-wing businesses started to do this? But I don't think that, like, Papa John's is going to pull out of California anytime soon, or like John Deere just shut down one of their factories. I don't even know if they're right-wing.
Can Papa John's even afford to pull out of a state?
I don't know.
I mean, I don't know how well they're doing.
So maybe it's not a justified fear. And generally, we're against businesses using their muscle to force politicians to go one way or another. I mean, what we want is, we want the guy in Georgia, the governor, to veto it because he knows that the people would oust him in either a recall or in his re-election attempt. That's the most pure form. And we'll sort of take this because we like the outcome. But I don't really want the NFL determining social policy in America.
Look, I don't want that either, and you make a good point. But unfortunately, right now, we have a country of so-called leaders that don't lead, right? A leader does the right thing, okay, regardless of what the constituents say in some cases. Because you might be a leader, you might be a politician in a very right-wing state that wants to continue segregating or wants to continue discriminating against the LGBT community. And it's up to you as a leader to determine that that's wrong and you shouldn't do that. But unfortunately, we don't have a country of leaders. We have a country of ideologues. Did I say that right?
Ideologues.
Ideologues, there we go. We have a country of ideologues. We have a country of people who are, of course, corrupted by financial interests. And in this case, I mean, in some way, he is influenced by financial interests. Yeah. But it's working in our favor.